Hey guys, what's up? It's Nick from On the Scene with Martini. I'm joined today with Tim and Brittany from Catbite. How are you guys doing today?
We're good.
Hi, we're doing all right. How
Yeah.
are you?
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you for having us.
Of course, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it. It's always good to have a fellow Philadelphian on
Hell
on
yeah.
on the
Yes.
podcast, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. Go
Go
birds.
birds.
Absolutely. You guys are going to be at the next Super Bowl parade then, eh? You
Yeah,
should
for
be
Yeah.
playing.
sure.
Yeah, should be.
Right. They're not onto it yet. They'll get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too
So,
early.
do you guys just mind like talking about? So, obviously, Catbite, ska band. I feel like there's not a ton of ska bands out right now. How did you guys kind of get into ska and like the formation of Catbite itself?
Yeah. So ska is pretty much all I know. I learned guitar to join my high school ska band back in when I was like 17. And I played in that band forever and kind of grew up about 9 years. I was in that band touring and doing all that shit. And just like, playing ska and like touring all over the country and meeting so many people. And I don't know, I've just fell in love with the scene and I've always been a huge fan of the scene. And I mean, it's just a giant community. And after about 9 years, I left that band and uh we had been talking about starting a band together, me and Britt. She was like in school and working free jobs and whatever. Oh, sorry,
Sorry.
dogs
Dog is like literally
tangled in the headphones.
You're all
Uh,
good. I feel like I'm gonna have a dog issue too eventually, so we're all good.
that
um,
came up quick.
but yeah, basically just yeah, I quit that band and I'm like, you know what, let's start a ska band. And me and Britt started writing and we got, recruited our original bass player, Johnny, who's a good friend of ours, also like ska and stuff. And then we got Chris and, booked a show and it's been nonstop since.
So, for like the writing process, is it basically you two, the main writers, kind of collaborating with each song then, or?
Yeah, I think a lot of times, if not most times, like Tim and I will kind of start writing like a bare bones, very like basic structure of a song, and we'll like do like a quick demo on GarageBand, and then we'll share it with like the rest of the band. And then when we all meet up and like have had a chance to listen to it is like when we really like flush it out with everybody. But so that it's like a collaborative like songwriting
Hmm.
thing. And that's like what we've done since the beginning. And I think like it works really well for us, because everyone's got like really good ideas. And like, if we start with something just very basic and let everyone get a chance to like listen to it and like sit with it and like hear ideas, then it's easier for us to try things, especially if like we just start with something very simple. Although sometimes like when we're writing songs we're like, oh, this would be cool, this would be cool, and like keep adding to it. But like
Hmm.
we like to keep it as simple as possible so that like it leaves it open for everybody to come up with like ideas.
Yeah.
But yeah, usually like chord structure or like just like melody and lyrics like will be um Tim and I from like the very beginning
Yeah. Usually right here.
in this room.
Right
Yeah.
here. Is that
Right
like
here.
your like home and studio kind of deal, or?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean it's
That's
it's it's our extra bedroom and it's got there's got the pull-out sofa thing or the day bed. It's the cat's room. It has the merch storage. It's just our tiny little thing. But yeah, this is where the magic happens.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So like for 2019, obviously like your first album came out, self-titled Catbite.
Hmm.
How long did something like that take from the second you started writing? Like was that like a year process? Because I feel like 2021, like that's still a time where COVID's still like we're in the midst of COVID and there's so
Hmm.
much going on in the world. Was that kind of like an easier way for you guys to focus on the album?
Um, well,
um
like for Cat by self-titled
mhm.
specifically, um, see, kind of like what Britt was saying earlier about how everything is like we try and make bare bones stuff and then bring it to the band and then collaborate and stuff. That first record was not as much that case, and I feel like as the new music has progressed, it's been more and more collaborative. So like Cat by Self-Titled was like a lot of songs that like I for the most part the songs were kind of written over the past like five, years before Catbite.
Hmm.
Like a lot of stuff I had written, and a lot of stuff she had written, a lot of stuff we'd written together, but not with any goal.
Hmm.
And like there was a couple of those songs were for a school project that she had, and like
Yeah.
that we kind of like banged out because she forgot she had to do it, and we wrote the songs literally the day before it was due. And it like there's two songs on that record on self-titled. Yeah,
Yeah.
Can't Give You Love and um Already Gone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we wrote those for her school project literally the day before it was due.
Yeah.
And so yeah, when we started Catbite, we kind of going back to the formation of it, we I got me and Britt and Johnny, and then I booked us a show before we had a drummer or any songs. So we were kind of just like, oh shit, okay, we need a drummer, and we got Chris. And then we can you get them off my pedals? Sorry, dog's bone landed on my pedals, and now it's
No, I get it. Pedals are too expensive to mess up. I get it
yeah.
completely.
We're just like in the middle of we go to Europe tomorrow, so we're kind of like packing and scatter and stuff. But yeah, sorry. Where I was going is a lot of those songs were kind of written a long time ago, and then they were formatted for Catbite,
Hmm.
and amongst us all, and so like pretty much that whole record, it was like little bits of ideas, and so we kind of just like bang. We knew we wanted a record, and uh this project, this Catbite was not supposed to be super serious or anything. Like we
Yeah,
were just like,
we started it. We're like, we just want to play shows and write songs that are like fun for us, and like it was not anything serious at all.
mm,
Um, and then yeah, it kind of like took off without us like really realizing.
yeah. So for writing that record, we're just like, anybody got a song? Okay, cool. And we like
Yeah, throw
just
it in.
like, especially like at the end, it was just like little bits of ideas that I had, and we recorded the whole record in 2 full days and 2 afternoons.
That's a pretty quick
Yeah.
recording.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
just like
Yeah.
boom, boom. We were just like in and out. A lot of stuff was just like, one take, two takes. And you can definitely hear that in the record. In the record, it's very raw. It's very just like, a punk record, I guess.
Yeah.
With, not specifically punk songs, but like the way it kind of comes together, it was just very punk rock, just like let's do a record real quick. And because when we started, Bad Time Records had also started, and they're like, hey, let's do a record based off of like one demo that we had, and we're like, okay, and then we just kept pushing it off. We were also getting married that year, Britt and
Hmm.
I, so all we didn't really
It's a
play.
lot going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we didn't really play too many shows. We didn't really spend too much writing. We were kind of focused getting married, and then we're like, all right,
There's a
let's
lot
write
of
this
planning
record.
there, let alone a show. Like,
Yeah, so we're just like, all right, let's just
totally
write this
understandable.
record, and hopefully it sounds good. And it ended up sounding really good. And then when we put it out, like people were like, holy shit. And I was like, holy shit. People said holy shit. Like
Yeah, yeah,
I'm used to like in my old ska bands, you put out a record and you get like 2 likes on Facebook, and
yeah.
you sell one record every 3 shows,
Yeah.
and that's just kind of that was normal to me. It's literally how I thought it worked.
Yeah.
But then yeah, like right away, a lot of people were buying the records,
Yeah, it
and
was received really well.
yeah, so
And then for Nice One, our second record, that was also we weren't planning to record a record that year. Um, but obviously, we pivoted real hard because of COVID. Um, we had like Tim said, we had only played like maybe 15 shows before
before the lockdown.
yeah, before lockdown happened. And so like 2020 that was like the year that we were really going to start touring. And so, we were going to be playing shows and tour on self-titled. And then obviously that didn't happen. And we actually had flights booked
Yeah.
to California, yeah, because we were gonna originally start a tour in California. And so we just had like one-way flights there. And so we were like, you know what? There was like a producer that Tim um had been a fan of, and like of him being in other bands before, Davey Warsop, and he's out in Long Beach, and we're like, let's just write a record. And like we
Use that flight
yeah
to fly out to LA, record the record. And yeah, so we basically booked all that, and then we're like, okay, let's write a record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, while we're in COVID lockdowns, and we just started cranking out songs.
It
Like,
tends to be like a thing that we've noticed where like we kind of like set a end time for us and then like we it gets our
figure out how to get
gets
there.
us it gets us like getting in gear and like really starting to focus. I don't know if that's the best way to do it, but
It's
that's
worked
the way we've
literally
done
I mean,
it.
it's
everything we've
working,
ever
so
done.
might as
Yeah.
well keep it up. Yeah.
Yeah, we light it, lit a fire under our asses, and then cranked out that record super quick.
Yeah.
Super quick. Like
I
we
think that was like in 4 months.
yeah, 3 or 4 months we wrote and arranged everything. A lot of it, like, we were doing remotely. Obviously me
Hmm.
and Britt living together, being married, like that was a huge benefit because we, were together and, bounce all these ideas and stuff and then send them to the others. And then once things got a little bit more lax with people being able to like travel a little bit, we started like having rehearsals like once a week for the last like 4 or 5 weeks before we went to record, and banged out the rest of the ideas and then went out there and recorded it.
What made you guys want to do? I love like I feel like a lot of country artists do like the three different versions of the same album. I really like the country, the punk. Like I like the cat bite. Like that's awesome to me. The cat fight, like that's fantastic. Do you guys see yourself doing more like hardcore punky stuff in the future, or was that kind of just like a one-time thing that you guys can throw at a show once in a while, or
I mean that like was born out of like we recorded Nice One and then like we had to sit on it for a while and we're like okay we're still like in COVID times and like so that we didn't lose our minds we decided to like reimagine self-titled in those two styles
Mm.
but I think that like after doing that we were all like oh wow shit like that was really fun it was like interesting to think about our songs and like it was hard it was like pretty
yeah.
hard because you know you hear your song and you're like that's the only way you hear it so we had to like really flip it upside down and think about it differently but I think like the hardcore self-titled was like inspiring to us like so on Doom Garden there's a couple songs that are like I think maybe lean more towards like a hardcore
Or
Hmm.
punky, yeah.
yeah more
Punky,
punk
yeah, definitely.
yeah I mean
So,
we love punk music so like I think it's allowed us to like expand more from just being like I don't know just like specific ska like you know two-tone or rock steady into more of like ska and like punk or ska and pop like it's I think it's allowed us to like view it in a more flexible way.
mhm,
Yeah, and I feel like that definitely helps too with like touring. Like you can definitely be with more bands and you're not really subjected just to being with a ska band. At least I know your upcoming like was it like a basically a 5 month leg. Like I have an insane list of names of people that you guys are supporting and playing along with like Yellow Card, Joyce
Yeah.
Matt, like so many different like you got ska, you got pop punk, hard like you
Yeah.
got like literally everything. I feel like that definitely helps kind of fit into that team because you're like, well, you're not hardcore. Well, actually, we are. We have, we have catfight. Like it's
mhm,
For
not just
sure.
subjecting you to one genre.
yeah.
And so for like just going back to ska, then like what are some like influences? Because like when I think of ska, like obviously I think of like Less Than Jake and Streetlight Manifesto. Like Streetlight Manifesto is probably like one of my main ska bands that kind of got me into the genre.
Yeah.
Were there any specific sounds that you guys were trying to go for,
Um,
or influences in general, I should
yeah,
say?
I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I guess, we're just all so influenced by all, because there's, I mean, at this point, like ska started in the late 50s, early 60s in Jamaica. So like, uh, what do we have? 30, 40, 50, is that 60 years ago? Yeah, like 60 years of like different types of ska and Jamaican influenced music. And
Mm,
like for like I mean me personally, into ska like I got into like the Hellcat Records list of bands when I was like in high school, and that kind of put me in a bunch of different directions from like Operation Ivy to Rancid to then kind
mhm.
of like the traditional stuff like Agrolites and Westbound Train and the Slackers and Hepcat, and all of that kind of is what introduced me to then the origin of ska. And that was kind of like what my old band sounded like, was trying to like mimic the original sound of ska.
Hmm.
So I've always been super influenced by that, and just the way that it evolves in Jamaica from, late 50s, early 60s to like the early 70s. There's so much going on of original music that's transforming over and over and over. And it's just like it's so unique because it's such a unique style of music that was born from a bunch of different other shit that Jamaicans listen to.
Yeah, third
Um,
into one basically, which I
yeah, so
appreciate
it's
that.
just this,
Yeah.
and that's like kind of how I've always viewed ska, and like there's a lot of people that say that's the only way ska should be. Then but
Like traditional.
yeah, but it's like, then you have the immigrants moving to the UK in the 70s, and there's like the working class immigrants and the working class whites and the punks and stuff. That's when you get your two-tone, which is like the very first joining of punk and Jamaican music, and that's where bands like The Clash came from. And then you have the Specials, and you have the Selector, and that's like, I'm like, well, I like that too. And then when it comes to America, it just blends with all of the fucking melting pot of America, and
Yeah.
then that's where ska literally just goes everywhere.
Third wave.
Yeah, you have your third wave, but I mean, third wave is such a blanket term. It can mean, Streetlight Manifesto. It can mean the Slackers, which is they're traditional sounding, but they're, a band that was born in 1991 and,
Yeah.
have like rock and roll and soul and jazz and
Blues.
blues and
Yeah.
stuff. And then obviously your Streetlight Manifesto is just like, punky rock, and like in a less than Jake, you have the pop punk and stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And I think I speak for all of us. We all kind of appreciate all of that stuff. We love a lot of it. We might not love some of it, but like,
Yeah.
um, from the beginning, Kappa has just been like no rules.
Hmm.
I think we've always been under the same like, uh, track of just like we just want to just make fun, cool music that we want to listen to. It's fun to play and that people like.
And I think
And
that we're all, sorry to cut you off.
oh, you're good.
I think we're all like open-minded when it comes to like trying different sounds. Um because we all like such like uh we all like different styles of music, and also the different styles of like ska music. So I think we're all willing to just like try out, maybe doing something that's like more a little two-tone leaning, or something that's like more like, traditional sounding, or like more ska punk. Like, I think we just we have a respect for it all, so like it's easy for us to be like, yeah, let's try it out, let's do something, because we just love the music.
Yeah. So that's a long way of saying we have so many influences. I literally
Yeah. Yeah.
can't
No,
even
that's a
give.
total. I like that answer. It's not a bad
Cool.
answer at all. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's a great answer. So, like for the new album, Doom Garden,
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up not emo, but like I like Panic at the Disco, Fall Out Boy. What was it like getting Pat from Fall Out Boy to sing on a track? I mean, like that's like totally like you got a Philadelphian ska band going to like Pat from Fall Out Boy. Like that's a huge step, and I feel like you guys don't have a ton of features on like your past stuff.
Oh
Hmm.
yeah.
So, what was it like getting Pat? Like, how do you was he like a friend or how did that really
Yeah.
work?
So also, as I will say, as like I grew up um in South Florida, and I like when I could start going to shows, I was like very into like pop punk.
Hmm.
And so like having Patrick Stump on a song was like really fucking cool to me.
Yeah,
It's really cool to me
Because
absolutely.
too, and I just got into
like
Fall Out Boy like 5 years back.
So for like Doom Garden, like big EP coming out, Patrick from Fall Out Boy, what was it like getting him into like how did you guys get in contact, or is there like some type of collaborative figure that you guys are both mutual friends with or
Yeah, so there's a podcast that a friend of ours runs, Aaron Carnes. Well, he wrote a book called In Defense of Ska, and the podcast was like following that, where he would bring people on and interview them about like their past with ska music.
Mhm.
And so Patrick Stump was like one of the first people that he had like early on the podcast. And like, we would listen all the time, and so that was like our first taste of like, oh shit, Patrick Stump is like really a big fan of ska music. And then he had him on again, and Tim and I were like, this was like, while we're writing Doom Garden, and we knew that for Tired of Talk that we wanted to have a feature on that specific song. And so we had like a small list of like people that we thought would be cool. And as we were like listening to the podcast, we were like, oh shit, like he had just written like his own song too, like an instrumental ska song where he like played all the instruments. And so he was like in it in that moment, and it just like clicked for us. We like looked at each other and we're like, we should just like shoot our shot and ask Patrick Stump. So we were able to get our song sent over to him, and um yeah, and then it took like a month. We didn't hear anything from him. And I kind of thought like, all right, well, that's it, like nothing's gonna happen. Which is fine. Like I think in our heads we were like, whatever. If he doesn't respond, he doesn't respond, we move on.
Yeah.
But then he emailed us and was like, hi, this is Patrick Stump. I listened to your song. I really like it. I heard that you'd like me to like do something on it, and I'd love to. And we were just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Absolutely
Is this
insane.
Patrick actually?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
we were just like there what?
Yeah.
Yeah, couldn't believe it. And then so just, we're just back and forth emailing Patrick Stump, and was so nice, such a cool, nice guy. Like he just very, very chill, very excited about the song, very excited to be doing this song. Like it wasn't just like he was doing us a favor. It was like you could
Yeah.
tell that he really liked the song and he really wanted to work with us. And like, he said like in a quote or like a little interview, he got some questions about us, and like he was saying like Catbite is like his favorite like up and coming ska band, and
Yeah.
just like he has a lot of belief in us. So and yeah, the way that it turned out was absolutely beyond our expectations. We kind of let him do whatever he wanted, and he went like above and beyond, sent
Yeah.
us like literally 31 vocal tracks and a trumpet track. And we're like, holy shit. And he was just like, sorry, I went nuts, use whatever you want. So we sent it to our producer, Sarah Tutson, and she, whittled it away, and took some of Brit's parts away, replaced them with like some of Patrick's, and then
Hmm.
basic.
Because I had, we had already done like some harmonies and stuff that I added on there. And then, when he sent us back his tracks, he has like his like the like Patrick Stump sound, where he has like those like stacks of different harmonies that are like really interesting harmonies too, that he sent us, and we're like, okay, well, get rid of mine.
Yeah,
Like we gotta put those in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it came out so good. Such a cool song.
So running on a high like that, I mean, you guys like sold out basically the first Unitarian church. What was that performing? I mean, hometown show for
Hmm.
like probably the most iconic underground
Yeah.
venue. I would say on one of them on the East Coast, truthfully. I know
Yeah.
people from all over the country. If you say the church in Philadelphia,
Hmm.
like they know what you're talking about. What was that
Yeah.
kind of like environment? Like probably absolutely crazy, right?
Oh my God. Yeah, the energy was like insane. I was really anxious the entire time,
Me
basically
too.
until we played, just because I was like so excited, and just like I just there was I we sold it out, which is like the craziest feeling. And like anytime we play like a headline show, it's like it's still like a strange thing, because like people are coming to see us,
Hmm.
like when we
Yeah.
play a support show, it's like people kind of trickle in and whatever, they're not really there to see us. But like you do a headline show and people are buying tickets to see your band, and that is like just fucking awesome and like so cool. And like I feel like I'll never get used to it. And the fact that we sold out the church was like just it was insane. It was amazing time.
Yeah, I mean exactly what she said. Like, and we've only done a handful of Philadelphia headline shows.
Hmm.
Like our first one was our record release show for Nice One in August 6th, 2021. And then we did another one at the church, and it was like half sold out.
Yeah.
And that was in 2023.
Hmm.
And then this is our well, we did that festival. That doesn't really count.
I mean, we did Bad Time Records
Yeah,
tour.
but that's also it was a three-way headline. So it's like, but this is like,
A true solo headline.
yeah, our
Yeah.
third like
Yeah.
official real headline show in Philly, and to have, 550 people paying
That's
paying
crazy.
money to see us at the show. Yeah, it's just the coolest thing ever.
Is there any other venues in Philadelphia that you guys are like, I definitely want to play there eventually? I mean, there's so many different, just even small time venues like Milk Boy and Photo Club. Like, there's so many just small venues, and I feel like there's a lot of up and coming venues. Like the Yuki Club has been killing it, and
Oh yeah.
like, is
Yeah.
there like any like venues that are like really speaking like Catlight? Like, this is where we want to be, even just like small shows because it's been pretty cool. I feel like with like the new what was it, All American Rejects? Or no, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The
They've
house
been
shows.
yes, they've been doing the house shows, and it's
Yeah.
like kind of bringing back like I know Hot Molly was at Yuki Club. Like I think it's cool
Yeah.
that we're finally bringing back what small time punk, pop punk, ska, shoegaze, like the alt scene of music, like actually bringing back it into where it started.
Yeah.
Is there like any venues that are like really speaking out to you guys offhand that would be really cool for Catbite to play at?
Um, I'm trying to think. I mean, we've 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 been able to play like a decent amount of
Mhm.
Philly venues. The one that I mean, I love Union Transfer. That's obviously not a small venue, but
Mhm.
like,
I feel like that's our next goal is
Yeah,
like now that we've sold out the church, I think our next goal as Catbite is sell out Union Transfer. I
yeah,
feel like
that's a
that's
great
like
goal. Yeah.
that's our next our next goal.
that'd be
The
amazing.
the thing is like we if we have the power, we only play all ages shows. So that
Hmm.
kind of limits our venue choices.
Hmm.
Because like I would say up there would be one would be Johnny Brenda's, which
That's the
is
one that came to
funny
my mind right away.
Yeah,
I feel
because
like
it
you got
which
like your vibe at Johnny Brenda's would be fantastic.
yeah
we love JB's too. Like we love
Yeah.
going to see shows there. I worked there for like a hot minute.
yeah, and
We
it's
love
like
everybody there.
it that's
Yeah.
an of because at this point like beyond Catbite, every band I've ever been in, I've played almost every single venue in
Hmm.
Philly except for Johnny Brenda's for some reason, and then also the Electric Factory. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
well, Franklin Music Hall now.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think that's another one that would,
I would love to play JB's.
yeah. So JB for me, I'd say Johnny Brenda's, but the thing is, they don't do all ages shows.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's
like,
21
I
plus,
think,
right?
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
all the
and
time. Yeah.
yeah, because we've been able to get like cool exceptions, like at Kung Fu Necktie,
Yeah. That's a
and
cool
then
venue too. I do like Kung Fu Necktie.
Kung Fu Necktie is fun.
yeah. But yeah, and then another one that would be really cool is to just play Franklin Music Hall just because
We've
it's
never done it.
yeah, and I never done it and it has a lot of history. Sorry, our dog's thirsty.
No, you're all
He
good.
is super high maintenance today.
He's thirsty today.
Yeah.
Usually
Right
he's just
now.
in the corner dropping his bone, but today he's just I think he's pissed because we're starting to pack and stuff.
Yeah.
He knows what's going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, just like Franklin Music Hall, just because of the legend behind, it's still the Electric Factory to everyone.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Um,
It
and I've
always will
never
be.
played there. Yeah, and I've
Yeah.
never
Yeah.
ever played there. So I think it'd be really cool to do that as well.
Yeah. For
I know
sure.
like with your upcoming tour, I definitely like the one that really spoke out to me. I love the Phantom Power, like in Millersville. I think it's a
Oh
great
yeah.
little venue. So I'm definitely gonna be going there for you guys.
Cool.
Heck
Yeah.
yeah.
That's gonna be a sick show. And
We've been
I
hearing,
love the vibe there.
See,
It's
I've
just
yeah.
never
such a
been there yet. I
Yeah.
grew up in Lancaster,
Oh
but
really? Oh, that's cool.
I grew up going to the Chameleon Club. So
Oh,
it's like
okay.
so
Yeah.
Greg, who was the longtime promoter at the Chameleon Club, he's now the promoter at Phantom Power. So
Hmm.
I'm
We've
very
heard like really good things about it, like
Mhm.
from lots of people that the shows there are cool, the venue's cool. It's like always a good time. So yeah, I'm stoked to
Yeah,
play.
it's a good vibe. And they bring in some pretty good guests too. Like I know like just from like a recent standpoint, like Hail the Sun was there. I just saw Foxy Shazam there.
cool.
Nice.
Which Foxy was cool. That was a cool show.
Well,
Damn.
yeah.
But yeah, they bring in some pretty heavy hitters. Oh, Cursive was there recently, so it's
Sick.
cool that you guys are gonna be playing there, and
Yeah.
especially headlining. Like that's gonna be super fun, and it's
Yeah.
like a no barrier, all ages show. Like
I
they
love
always
that.
are very like that too, which I really appreciate.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah,
With
I'm
that
excited.
long list of bands that you guys are supporting, what's like one that's like really one that's like wow, like we're getting there, like Yellow Card or like what's one that really speaks out to you guys?
I mean, definitely Yellow Card. That's fucking crazy. That
Yeah,
was
yeah.
It's so random and weird. Like we got a new booking agent
For
over
Europe.
over in Europe, and this is like our first real proper tour in Europe. We went there in mainland Europe back in October, but it was kind of a bunch of things pieced together and it was
Hmm.
very sloppy and last minute. So
Yeah.
this is our first real like official like well done one. And we were like getting the early itineraries for like and the routings and stuff maybe in the beginning of the year and just like I remember like one day like I was like looking at the email. I'm like, the fuck? Does that say yellow card? Like no, like hey, do you guys want to play with yellow card? It was just like, oh, we're playing a fucking show with yellow. Well, it was actually so it was two shows with
Hmm.
yellow card,
Yeah.
but the one show ended up getting canceled because yellow card got asked to play a festival to replace a band that dropped off.
Gotcha.
So we're no longer playing with them in Brussels, but we are still playing with them in Wiesbaden, Germany.
Yeah.
That's
Like
cool.
literally next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, fucking Ocean Avenue is one of the greatest pop punk songs I've ever heard in my life.
It's
I will
so good.
stand by that
Just
until I die.
another thing where like little pop punk me is like, the fuck is happening?
Yeah,
Like crazy. And it's cool because like, we play ska music and like we get to play with this like pop punk like band, and I feel like it fits so well, I think. I don't know, it's really exciting. I mean, I'm also very excited to play with Joyce Manor
yeah, I was gonna
because
Yeah.
I
That's a cool
love
one.
them. I love them
Yeah.
so much. And we've never played a show with them
no,
before. So that'll be so sick.
yeah, that's a very cool one.
Yeah.
I think you guys are playing with like a great eclectic group of people that from your standpoint, you're having like a huge tour. Like was this one of your biggest tours ever, if not the biggest? It's like what, 55 shows or 60
It's
shows,
yeah,
roughly?
so I don't even know how much is on that because we have stuff that's not even announced yet, and it's like
Yeah.
it's just it's a lot very not very spaced out, but it's like 3 weeks in Europe, then home for a week, then we go
Yeah.
West Coast. So it's this is definitely the most shows we'll have played in a year though, because
Hmm.
I did count up how many shows we have booked and confirmed or have played for 2025, and it's at 98 shows.
That's
That's a
wild.
crazy amount,
So
yeah.
That's a wild
yeah.
amount.
And the crazy part is we've only played about
A handful of them so
like
far.
15 shows this year.
Yeah.
So we have like another, 75 shows from now, what is it, June through December.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely our biggest tour, but yeah, it's just it's a lot of on and off and on and off and stuff. So we try and be strategic and smart and like not run ourselves to the ground. We kind of, have gotten a taste of what we can handle and what makes sense.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Obviously, we have this new record, so it's going to be our busiest year, and we're doing a lot of headlining, which is brand new to us. So
Mhm.
that's why we have so many shows. We have all the headlining, plus the overseas stuff, plus support stuff and festivals. But yeah,
I mean, the support stuff is great too, especially with like the bands that you are playing with. I feel like a lot of those fans do like ska in some sorts too. So
Oh
it will
yeah.
definitely help. Like you guys are saying, like strategic, even just with like the bands you're playing with, I feel like strategically, like it's a great group of bands to help get out Catbite even more too.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's definitely like, we're still like very baby bands, like,
Hmm.
we still, it's cool that, I mean, this year like we are doing a lot of headline stuff, but then like it's nice to be able to like do headline stuff and then like do some more support stuff and like gain some more fans
Yeah.
in like different areas or different genres, and then be able to do another year of like a lot of headline stuff and have more fans. And yeah, I feel like that's just like the best way for us to be able to grow as a band, I think.
yeah,
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys so much for being on the show. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for
That was
having
very
us.
nice for you guys to start up because this is like a very new podcast. So I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your busy schedule because you guys got leaving for Europe. So I know you guys got a lot of stuff to do.
yeah. No worries at all. Thank you for having us, and
Of
yeah,
course.
it's gonna be fun.
Well, guys, down in the link below, I'm gonna post a lot of Catbite stuff. They have some sick cassettes that I just saw released. Those were awesome. I mean, I know
Yeah,
pre-orders were done, they've shipped, and it looks like there's still some left. So definitely check those out. And Catbite's probably playing at a venue somewhere near you this year.
Probably,
So
yeah.
so definitely take your time out and take a look at that. And I'll post her link tree and everything down below. I'm Nick. This is Catbite. Thanks again for joining, guys.
Woo, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.